Hello, this is Joshua for Frost Dragon Designs, and today I'd like to talk to you about my Capricorn Zodiac Cat Hard Enamel pin. This pin is part of Series 4 of my larger Black Cat RPG collection. In Series 4, I based the first 12 pins off of the 12 astrological signs of the Western Zodiac. This pin is inspired by Capricorn, the goat. So let's get into the design. My first sketch for Capricorn was actually this little Satyr warrior, and I still think that this would make an excellent pin design, but I started overthinking things a lot with this design. Because of the mythology, I started thinking about Pan and playing a pan flute and wanting to have music involved in it, and the idea just kind of grew. And so I want to say right up front, it's not that I don't enjoy what I ended up putting forth as the Capricorn pin design. It's just, for this specific design, I feel like I put myself through the ringer, second-guessing myself at every turning point that I possibly could. And as you can imagine, as an artist, that is exhausting. And if this video looks like it is sped up faster than usual, that is because it is. This design ended up taking 2 or 3 times longer than any of the other designs for Series 4. And I don't believe that that's because it's more complex than any of them or it was a more challenging concept to execute. I think it really does come down to me second-guessing myself so many times throughout this design that I think I'm still dealing with separating some of that frustration from the finished product. So if you hear something a little different in my voice in this video, that's all that is. But let's talk about Capricorn itself for a minute here. The actual sign itself. Capricorn is the goat, but it is not a regular goat. It is like a fish goat. It's got the front half of a goat and the back half of a fish. It's a mer goat. That's actually why the little warrior sketch had scale mail to try and bring in that fishiness. But when I ended up moving toward the pan satire, pan flute music concept, I dropped the fish part altogether, which honestly I think is fine because the mergoat thing is just, it's a little strange even for me in my personal opinion. I'm sure there's ample evidence historically why it came about. It wasn't just someone going, hey, let's make a mergoat. You know, I'm sure there's actual reasons for it. But for my purposes, I did not feel the need to absolutely include the fish aspect. And as I said, I was going more for the pan flute and the music kind of aspect. And so I started paying a lot more attention to what the instrument itself looked like. And then this kind of music staff that's wrapping around him is very important for this concept and this design. Visually, this kind of effect is very similar to the rainbow trail that I gave to the wand on the Fey Warlock kitty pin design. Only instead of it being a rainbow, this is intended to be a music staff. I just felt like something like this would be a better representation than just having some stray music notes somewhere in the design. I feel like this is more music in motion. You can kind of feel like the song wrapping its way around him. Maybe it's like an enchantment or something. I'm not really sure, but I just felt like this worked so much better than just having a couple little music notes kind of floating away from him. You can also tell pretty easily from this video that I was having a bit of a struggle coming up with what the color scheme was going to be for this pin design. And even looking at this now as I'm doing the video, I'm liking some of these color schemes quite a bit and kind of second guessing myself again now going, hey, well, why didn't we go with the kind of the blue and yellow color scheme? But that's not really something that you can dwell on as a creator because at any given point, there's a million different variations that you could do. Anything that I've designed could be different than it is. And I think that's why it's so important that creators enjoy the creation process, not just work for an end goal. Creating the perfect whatever never happens. You're never going to make everyone happy. And I think that that was kind of the trap that I fell into with this particular design. I wanted so badly for this to be like the Capricorn pin that all Capricorns loved. And I lost sight of the fact that it should have really just been, you know, a fun Black Cat RPG design that was inspired by Capricorn. Having said that, I did get a message from somebody telling me that this was, quote, the coolest Capricorn pin they've ever seen. And honestly, that lifted my spirits so much the day that I read that. just knowing how much I struggled with this design, and then seeing that there was at least one person who really did love this design, I was just like, you know what? I'll call that a win. Bringing a little bit of magic into the world, one design at a time. That's kind of been my company motto, and that sounds like what happened to me. And in case you were wondering, the song that I was trying to put on the music staff was Mary Had a Little Lamb. I think I may have ended up putting it on there backwards, but, I'm not really a musical person, and I made an attempt, and I think I should get at least partial credit for that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead, like and subscribe. I will have a new video for you next week. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.